Hey, it's Annie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share an everyday look with you. And as I'm sharing my everyday makeup look, so this is a minimal makeup look, by the way. This is a little bit different. So I was doing this, we were just recently on a trip, my husband and I was creating this look. As I'm doing this, I'm going to give you some tips along the way. I am going to skip brows in this and lashes because I'm going to have that in another video. I just feel like I need to really explain what I'm doing, and this will be a real long video, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get right into this, and I'm gonna show you what I'm using, but use what you already have. You know, I don't push stuff on here, just sharing what I use. I will leave the links below with everything that I'm sharing in the video, but let's get into it. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to wear a moisturizer underneath my makeup. Now I already do have that with part of my morning routine, and I also wear a sunscreen, always wear a sunscreen, but I still like to add just one more, and I usually use this one. So this one or my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched, but today I'm using this. This is the Hidden Glow Brightening Cream, and this is from a Wander Beauty. So I'll just pump a little bit of this on my hand. I don't use a lot because I have dry, oily combo skin, so I'm just going to put a little bit all over, and I put this on after my sunscreen, almost said my foundation, after my sunscreen's been sitting on for at least 20 minutes. Now I'm going to go in and do my under eye concealer. So lately I've been using a primer for under my eyes. I can't speak, and maybe mom needs some more coffee. Hold on a second. Okay, so I've been using this primer. This is from Smashbox. This is the Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer. This has been a game changer for me because I feel like it's been helping my concealer stay in place and not budge all day. I have not been powdering. Sometimes I was occasionally doing that. And when I say powder girl, I mean I was like barely using a powder, because we know under aging eyes, when we have lines and wrinkles and we put powder on, what's going to happen, class? It's going to make us look older, and I don't want to look any older than I am, okay? So anyways, so I just use a little bit of this, and I cannot stress enough, tiniest amount. And I'm going to put that little dot under both eyes. You do not have to use a lot of this. I mean a tiny bit. This will last you a long time. Now I'm going to go in while that's sitting just for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to prime my lids. The one that I like using is from Trish McEvoy. Now this one is fabulous. It prevents my eyeshadow from creasing. It keeps it on all day long. It doesn't crack, fade, whatever. I use less of my shadow when I use this. Use very little. I'm going to apply it. Use very little. And also, see, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I have a lot of discoloration and veining. And so I like this one because it has a little bit of a tint to it. This one is in the color Bear. I think she has a couple different colors that you can choose from. I got the one in Bear. So it's just enough, you know, it's not like too dark or too light or anything like that, but it just kind of covers up some of that fading. I'm going to do the same with this eye. You don't want to use too much, and you want to blend it well. And I just use my ring finger again to do this. I'm going to zoom you guys in too when I'm done so you can see what my makeup looks like. I think it's important because I do use lighting in my videos, because otherwise I'd have shadows. I don't have a really good place in my house to get natural light, so that's why I always turn the camera off and let you guys see my face close up so you know I'm not talking out of my butt. Okay? All right. So now I'm going to go in with my Lancome Effaceurs concealer. There's a couple concealers that I enjoy using. I kind of go back and forth. So right now I'm back to this one. So I'm going to use very little of this. Again, I'm going to get right here. And you only want to apply this when you're doing your concealer, ladies. You only want to apply this where you really, I'm just adding a tiny bit more. I didn't put enough on, but still very little. You only want to apply it where you need it. Very, very little. Now I'm going to take this. This is my BK Beauty brush. This is my number 101 brush. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to just blend it in that area. I'm just going to keep it right there. You can use your fingers to do this. You can use a beauty blender to do this if it's more comfortable for you. I just prefer using this lately because I really like the way it looks. Now, it'll be interesting. I've been using an under eye cream lately. I'm not liking it. Not a cream, a treatment. I will talk about that soon in a video, but I feel like it leaves a residue, and sometimes I have to blend this out because it's kind of like peely. It's really weird. So I'm just blending this. Now I'm going to get my mirror because I got to see closer. Now I'm going to take the rest of it, now that I've blended, and I'm going to sweep it over here. Because I do need to conceal a little bit over here. But if I just put that concealer all under there, I'm going to put too much on, and it's just going to settle in there, and we don't want that. I have a little bit of a puffiness, although it's not too bad because this thing that I'm using under my eye is actually helping with some of my puffiness so it doesn't look too bad. That's my problem, is I have a little bit of puffiness there, so because of my purple discoloration there, it actually makes it look worse. A couple things that you can do if you want to do minimal makeup. You can use a foundation, or you can go in with a concealer. I think today I'm going to use a foundation. I'm going to use this one today. This is my Sicily Foundation. The other day I just used, actually yesterday I used my Chanel. It just depends on what I want. It depends on how my skin is that day and what I want. If I feel like I have a little bit, I feel like I have a little bit more redness in here today, so I'm going to use this one, and this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to actually use this. This is a new sponge from BK Beauty, so I'm gonna test this out. I'll let you know what I think about it. BK Beauty sent this to me. There's a couple brushes in here that they sent to me. This I bought myself. I bought her whole entire introduction set. I bought myself, but there's some brushes that she's been sending me. I'll let you know how I feel. Okay, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to shake it. I'm going to take my foundation. I'm just going to put it on my sponge. It's just the way that I do it. And I kind of want to get this area mostly because that's where I have redness, and even down here a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just take this foundation. I'm just going to tap a little bit there. Okay. Where I feel like I need it. I'll put some up there. And now I'm going to blend. Now you could take, like I said, you could take concealer and totally skip this part. So you don't have to use foundation. Use a concealer. So if you feel like you have a little bit of redness by your nose, a little bit by your cheeks, just use a tiny bit of concealer. Do the same thing I did. You don't have to put on sponge, but you could just kind of dab it in those areas and apply it. I was doing that when we went to Key West, and even though it's wintertime there, it's still humid. And I don't know if you've ever been to Key West, but if you have, girl, I love it hot, but your makeup will melt off your face, literally. So blend, 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 because we don't want to look like we have a bunch of makeup on. So you see that side of my face and that side, see how this looks a little bit softer? You can still see my skin. That's the idea of this. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just using a tiny bit of foundation. Again, I'm going to go into those areas that I feel like I really need it. It's not too bad there. And then I'm going to start to blend it. This, okay, so how do I feel about this? Not really a review today, but I'm just going to tell you. It has a different feel than my beauty blender. This one has, it's squishy. It's a little bit squishier and dense than this. It's totally different, but it seemed to apply my foundation on really well. I'll have to use this for a while more and tell you what I really think, or if I'm going to keep using this, because I've used sponges that were similar to this, but I always feel like I go back to my beauty blender. You guys know that. So I think it's really nice. So if you don't like the beauty blender, then maybe you like it, but it's more of a dense but squishy. It's kind of weird because I've used a Sigma one, and that one's dense, but I don't think it's got this squish to it. It's hard to describe. It's very different. It almost feels, I don't know, it almost feels like a silicone kind of a deal. I don't know. Now I'm squeezing it. I wonder if it's absorbing the, I don't know. After I use it, I will see if it absorbs any of the foundation. I know this does not absorb the foundation, so I'll let you know. I will update you guys on that. If you're doing minimal makeup, there's a couple things you can do. You can just do a little bit of bronzer, and you can do blush. and then you can just call it a day and go. You don't have to do the glow and do all that kind of stuff. You don't have to do any highlighter or anything like that. If you were in a hurry, you can skip some of that. So what I think I'm going to do today is I'm going to skip my bronzer, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the color Rose Glow. So this is a blush that has a slight shimmer in it, but it's not glittery. It's really pretty on mature skin. So this is the Daniel Sandler watercolor. Another option you have, you can use the cream blush on your cheeks and call it a day. This one's from Gucci Westman. This is a color Petal, I think it is. Yes, so this is the color Petal from Gucci Westman. Jane Iredale, and it is the color Clarity. It looks really bright, but it's really light. Let's see if I could even. But once you blend it in, it just looks like that kind of a blush you have if your cheeks are kind of cold from being outside in the cold. It's that kind of a color. I'm going to go ahead and use this one today. I'm not going to use any bronzer today. I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand. So this is what I was doing when we were out. I wasn't putting a ton of makeup on. So this is nice vacation makeup, or just like you're running out the door and you want to look pulled together, but you don't want to look like you have a ton of makeup on. And this is it, girl. So again, see how where I'm applying my blush? I'm applying it there. I don't want to apply it to the rosy cheek thing, because when you're older, you lose elasticity in your face and your face sags. So when you're smiling, it looks okay, but then when you're not, it's like your cheek just fell down there. I've shared that before. And I know that one of you, Renee, had said that she doesn't have that issue. So does she still have to put her blush up there if she still has nice high cheeks? Absolutely not. Put it on your cheeks, girl. But for most of us, unfortunately, we're not as lucky as you. So we have to put our blush up a little bit higher. And see how I'm really blending it too, just so it looks nice and soft and natural. It doesn't look like I have blush on. I'm going to do the same thing on the other cheek. Just going to take it. I want to blot it out a little bit because I don't want it to be crazy, and I'm going to go right up here again. So you don't have to do the whole bronzer thing if you don't want to do that. I like to do it because it gives me some more color, but if you're like less, but this is it, girl. This blush has a little bit of shimmer in it. I don't know if you can see it. Because of that, I don't have to use my other highlighter that I usually use, which is the Charlotte Tilbury. So you don't have to use that. If you're kind of like, I just don't want to do all that stuff. I just want to like look nice and go out the door. This is it. I'm going to do these colors today. I'm just going to do Naked. You can use cream shadows too. Cream shadows is another thing that you can just do a couple colors and run out the door. You could do one color and run out the door. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not going to go crazy today. I'm going to keep it to a minimum. I'm going to go in and I'm going to use this light color here, which I cannot read. But it's a really, really light tan brown color. I'm going to go in with that. And I'm going to put that on my crease right up here. Now the palette that I actually took with me was my Chanel palette that I love so much from the Cruise collection last year. They had those nice earthy tones in it. It's just a nice easy palette. I hope that they come out with more palettes like that. I just like stuff that's like really easy and you know you can just get out the door. So we're going to go on this side and do the same thing. I promise you it's not a big deal. See how I'm just like not even, I'm just slapping it on basically. I want to just add a little bit more color, which if you don't have time, you don't have to do this. I'm just going to add a little bit of that brown right there, just a little bit. And I'm going to go like this and that. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to blend this some more. We're going to add a little bit. I'm going to use my finger and put a little bit of shimmer, which you don't have to. You could just use a matte, a really light color. See how little, I don't have a lot of color on. And if I wasn't chatting, I'd be done with my eyes already. But I'm just using one brush to do this, one brush. Now I'm just going to take my finger and I'm just going to use this color right here. I don't want it to look like I don't have any color on, but I want it to be really light. So that's why I just use my finger. So it's not over the top. It's very, very, I feel like it's very minimal. Now let's do something a little bit different. Now this is going to take you a little bit more time. But if you want to make it look like you're not wearing a liner, I'm going to show you a little tip. Now you have to be careful if you're wearing contacts doing this. I know some of you said you wear contacts. So you can do something like this. I mean, you could use a liner, but again, this is for somebody that's not wearing contacts because the shadow might get in there. But I'm going to use this brush. I haven't used it yet. This is from BK Beauty. This is the number 208. This was sent to me by Lisa as well, by BK Beauty. Okay. And I'm going to use the same palette. I'm going to use the darkest brown that's in here, all the way down there. And I'm going to take that, get on my brush, tap it off. Now I'm going to really zoom in. I'm going to take this and I am going to just go right on my lash. And I'm going to scrub it in there. I'm going to get some more. So if you want your lashes to look a little bit thicker, but you don't want to use a liner on it, this is just another way to do it. I just want to make sure I'm focused in here. Okay. So, see where I'm getting it? I'm like right on that lash line there. It's a really light color. And then you can even go here with your eye open, be very careful. And you can get it in there. And you see the difference between that eye and that eye? To see how that looks a little bit thicker from that eye, and I don't have any liner on. So this is really nice if you're someone that can't wear a liner, you just feel like your eyes get irritated. This is a great tip, but like I said, if you wear contacts, you probably have to be careful because of the powder. But if you tap it off, I think it's okay. But just, if you wear contacts, just be careful. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other eye. Start at this end here. And I'm getting it right. This is such a nice brush for doing this. So you can get right in that area. So I am liking this brush. I'm going to flip it over and do the other end here. And then I'm going to scrub it in there a little bit. So I'm going to have my eye open. I'm just going on the lash line. I'm not going in that water line at all. It just sounded like I was from Chicago. All. Oh, I just did a Midwestern accent. Lovely. Okay. Like that. So if you can't wear it in your waterline, that's what you do. So I am going to go ahead and finish my brows and my lashes. One more thing I want to do with you guys, and this is something you don't have to do if you're running out the door. If you put your brows on and you do your mascara, your lipstick, your hair, whatever, you'd be good to go. I mean, this just looks like almost like a no makeup look. If you have the time, you can do this. So I will take my smudge brush. I'm going to take my smudge brush. I'm going to take that same brown color and I'm going to go right under here, right on my lash line. My lashes are so blonde that I feel like even when I have my mascara on my lower lashes, I need this. I'm going to wipe that off my brush and now I'm just going to connect it with the top and just blend it and just brought my eyes out a little bit more. So if I were to do this not on camera, I could do it really quickly. But like I said, on camera, I'm explaining everything to you. So let me do the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. All right, so this is my really quick look. Now, the only thing I didn't share with you guys is powder. So I'm going to do a little bit of powder Here's the thing about powder. You have to be careful. If you have dry skin, you don't tend to get oily, then I would skip the powder if you're a mature woman, but you have to be really careful even if you're like me and you have the combo skin. So I'm just going to use a little bit of powder. This is my Chanel powder. Just going to put it on here and then give it a little shake. And I just kind of put it in the areas, and you can see already because this has been sitting for a little bit. That's where I get oily. So that's it. I want to zoom you guys in. I hope this is focusing because I'm blind without my readers. When I'm looking close, I mean, I'm not blind totally, but when I'm close. But you can see what my makeup looks like. You can still see my skin. It's not perfect, but if you are someone that doesn't want to wear a lot of makeup, this is an option for you. So really quickly, I just want to recap again. So if you're looking for a minimal makeup, you can use a concealer as your foundation. You can use either a cream, concealer, or liquid. It doesn't matter. Just go easy on it and only use it in the areas you really need it. For me, I have, redness right here. You can still see a little bit of it. If I want to cover up more, I can. But when I'm going for a minimal look like this, I kind of am going sort of for a no makeup look. But come on, guys. Let's be real. You see that I have lips on. You see that I have mascara on. I mean, okay, you can see it. But it's very, very light. If I walked out the door like this, I feel good. I feel good about myself. And I'm wearing this look more and more lately, but I still play around with shadows and all that, but I just wanted to create something really, really simple. You can use cream sticks. You can just do one cream stick on your eyes and call it a day and go out of the house. Instead of the blush, you could do a little bit of bronzer on. So if you guys like this video, let me know, and I'll actually show you different alternatives. It's just I can't do that in one video, but if you guys are interested, I will do more of these more minimal looks for you guys so you can see them. But you can see I'm not all glammed out. This is not a glamorous look. This is a real very minimal look. I've seen minimal looks before that are minimal, like this is minimal, okay? This is like a minimal look. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, I share new videos every single week. I talk about makeup tips, skincare. Sometimes I do some reviews. It's all about, as we age, just getting more comfortable with ourselves, looking the best we can for as long as we can. And if you didn't already know, I'm 53 years old. I don't always say that, but people ask me my age. So I'm 53, I'll be 54 in August of 2020. That is it. Thank you guys so much. I will catch you all in my next video.